farther back to the south and west, the areas that I was talking about at first in Texas, Lubbock over to Childress, and western parts of Oklahoma and up to OKC, and southern portions of Kansas as well, just off to the south of Wichita. These are the areas shaded in yellow there where we have a severe thunderstorm watch that runs until 10 p.m. Central Time. A watch indicating that environmental conditions are favorable for strong and severe storms to develop. And you saw just the very beginnings of those storms getting going now. Severe storm threat where it's greatest, those areas where the severe thunderstorm watch is now in effect. But you do see this extends much farther off to the north and east, including in Missouri, where we have that active severe thunderstorm warning right now, and all the way up to the southern portion of the Great Lakes region, including the Windy City of Chicago. So that's up and down this cold front. We'll be watching the whole thing, but where we're expecting the most intense weather, it's mostly going to come in the form of these severe wind gusts, perhaps in excess of 75 miles per hour. So these are some intense, damaging wind gusts that will be possible by some of these strong and severe storms. Large hail expected too. A few isolated tornadoes possible, but that threat isn't nearly as widespread as what we saw unfold yesterday at this time on Fox Weather across America. One that we're watching, though, for you. Future Track, 6 p.m. Central Time. There's that coverage of scattered thunderstorms, all the areas that we were talking about. You do see initially they're more discrete. You've got the hail threat, the damaging wind threat, and the isolated tornado threat. It does become more linear along this cold front as we head through the back half of the evening and even into the overnight hours tonight. More of these storms persisting. The severe weather threat drops, but we'll see some heavy rain potential through the overnight. And with that, we're going to have to watch for some flash flooding. Bridget?
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.